Welcome, race fans, to round number 7 of the Dixon's Smoked Barbecue Truck Series. We're here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the home of lobster, and a fan of lobsters and all lobster dishes. This is my co-host, Dr. Erica Campbell, joining me tonight, with also Dave Huckleberry. I'm Gerald Campbell, and we're excited to present the truck series here at this very fast 1 mile flat speedway here. Qualifying is underway right now. Full field of 40 trucks arrived tonight. It's going to be an interesting one because we only have 100 laps. 100 laps go by very quickly. Here's the championship standings brought up in front of you. We have a first time we've seen this season, a fairly big points gap now starting to be created from the first to second place position. Timmy Holmes won the first Bristol race last week, the first of two Bristol races of last week. Got himself out to a decent-sized point lead now over Levi Lazinski in the second place, Ethan Stanley in third, Harrison Talon in fourth, Justin Munsell in fifth, Dustin Durr in sixth, Robert Hill Jr. in seventh, Tyler Dixon in eighth in points. Tate Lytle finds himself in the ninth position, and Alec Ballvance is in the 10th. Tom Bourne 11th, Zach Evans in 12th. Only those matter, for those are the ones that make it into the regular season or for the championship round. So as the lineup is starting to be presented in front of you, I'm going to hand it off to Erica Campbell, and she's going to go about giving us a lineup. Well, actually, I think this is actually a heat lap. So actually, no. There's actually just a pace car on track. There's not even not a car. So we're just gonna watch the pace car go around, just make sure the track is nice and cleaned up for the racing fans. As again, we stated a full field of lineup, so they didn't know if they were gonna have any go homers. Just enough. I believe we just had 40 trucks, so looks like all the entries will be able to race tonight. Chad Thornquist there was the only one that was supposed to line up, but he's already backed out. So, yeah, while we watch the pace truck go around the track a few more times here, we got a new little banner put up, and to start to show off, maybe we can pull up the standings once again here, and we'll give you a little taste of what's new for the broadcast. We're starting to showcase the rookies a little bit more. You find them in first in points with Timmy Holmes there, our only two-time winner so far this season. Ethan Stanley's another one of those rookies in third. Justin Munsell in fifth. And Robert Hill in seventh. So all the odd numbers are rookies. Rookies have definitely been putting it to some of these veterans. You see a lot of the veterans like Tate Lytle and some of those others that you normally see up front. So far, these rookies have been putting it to these veteran drivers. So interesting to kind of get an idea of who's going to be strong tonight. As just like in the point standings, we got a lot of rookie drivers mixed in through the qualifying lineup that we'll be presenting here shortly. So we'll have to keep an eye on and see if any of these rookie drivers are able to go out and showcase themselves a little bit more. You have to advance through the truck series to be able to get your way through to any of the other elite series once you've completed a full season with us. So a lot of them are trying to go about showcasing themselves not only to the other drivers but to league admin and try to get themselves known throughout the elite series here to hopefully be able to go up and be able to compete and contend in the Cup Series and then the Xfinity. So good taste of new drivers throughout the series here. All these drivers back here are further back in points. All right, we just got word that with the pace car being glitched out there, we're gonna have about 15 minutes before the start. So gives Erica and I a little chance to maybe be able to bring up some drivers up into here that can give us a taste as to what kind of racing we'll see. Are you with me, Erica? Are you ready to pull up? Let's see if we can get Goodman in here. Oh, never mind. It looks like Looks like maybe they might be actually getting going now as the pace car is lined up on the front straightaway. So never mind. We'll have to wait until after the race to be able to interview some of these drivers. Hopefully, some of those that were in the waiting room are able to perform tonight and be able to come back and talk to us once again. So I'm going to hand it back over to Erica, and she's going to go over the starting order for tonight.
All right, qualifying on pole, we have Timmy Holmes, followed by Scott Crump in the second position, Sean Ryan in third, Tyler Fody fourth, Ethan Burrell fifth, Vincent Isabella in sixth, Chadwick Denton rolling off in seventh, Justin Munsell in eighth, Chad Frankenfield in ninth, Caleb Clifton in 10th, Ethan Stanley in 11th, Robert Hill Jr. in 12th. Rolling off in the 13th position, we have Michael Hossack, followed by Tom Bourne in 14th, Daniel Martinez in the 15th position, Dylan Jones 16th. In 17th, we have Tyler Dixon, 18th, Zach Evans, 19th, Trey Holmes, Cole Mikra in the 20th position, Levi Zielinski in 21st, Alec Balvans in 22nd, Brody Moore in 23rd, Dustin Dewar in 24th. Kendall Noah qualified 25th, Zishan Dwera in 26th, Harrison Tyler 27th, Mark Keeler 28th, Michael Klein 29th, Casey Hatch 30th, Michael Goodman 31st, Josh Freed 32nd, Sam Bootwell 33rd, James Saul 34th, Cody Harrington 35th, Ray Bracey 36th. Michael Goodman, we have Brent Jones in 37th, Jeff Sickles 38th, Brandon Hughes 39th. In the 40th position, we have Kyle Waldron and Chad Thornquist in the 41st position.
Looks like they're already getting going. Green flag is out where the racing gets good and the good gets racing. They're going to go lobster racing tonight here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Real far out front, able to get quite a big of a jump there. Timmy Holmes able to get out front, but we see a little bit of contact already happening in the back there. No caution, able to get straightened up, it looks like. But right behind Holmes is Scott Crump, finds himself in the second position, right in front of, it looks like, Tyler Fody. As they still keep going green here. It's going to be interesting to see where the racing groove ends up, because a lot of these drivers find that middle lane to be the proper way, but once you get into that passing zone and have to figure out how to get around some drivers, you're going to have to figure out a way that's outside of your comfort zone. All that comfort zone right there on that high lane is going to have to go away as soon as you have to try to make any kind of move on the driver in front of you. Right now, with the new tires, it looks like they're all evened out, all kind of spaced out evenly, but we do have a battle back there, looks like sixth right now, side by side. I think that's Munsell on the outside, and on the inside of him is the 37. That's Ethan Burrell right there. Ethan Burrell on the preferred line on the outside, but the inside lane, or Ethan Burrell on the inside, is going to try to make the pass. He is able to drive out just enough in front to be able to cut right in front of Munsell and clear himself, and finds himself now in 7th position. As we're already 4 laps into this 100-lap race, almost a sprint race, as you can imagine, as this is the same amount of laps as the dirt race, and they're able to get around here at a 30-second time. So it may be a quick race if we don't have any cautions, and so far, with how it's spaced out, looks like a great start. Looks like we got the 2 starting to stack back to the, looks like to the 9 of Shane Ryan. So we'll have to see again. That bottom groove is about the only way you're going to be able to pass someone. Is most people will decide to take the high lane, as it is the preferred driving lane. But with that outside groove having so much speed, it's so hard to complete it. But already a caution out early on lap 5. We'll have to give it over to David Huckleberry here, and we'll give a little caution break here and figure out exactly what happened for you.
Okay, looks like we got Brody Moore comes up into the wall, gets into the number 99 car, and then kind of spins out in front of the field, takes him down inside. You can see that's a 13 car there as well, also involved. Brody Moore.
Took out a few drivers. Yeah, you see Kendall Noah Player going into the tire barrier. I don't know if he's going to be stuck there.
5 Alec Balvans.
Yeah, the 51 of 51 of Harrison Talon involved in that as well. Yeah, big stack up there. And it all comes out of turn 2. Turn 2 is such a difficult part of the track as you come straight out at the wall and you got so much wheel in it. Sometimes if you just barely tap the wall, it'll just shoot you. So we'll have to find out if Kendall Noah player was able to keep going. He got pretty deep into that tire barrier. On board Harrison Talon here.
Looks like he was hoping for a spot to open up there, and it just didn't open up for him.
No, the curtains got closed on that one. Unfortunate for those drivers. Hopefully all of them are able to keep going. We do have a few drivers a lap down from that. Gishandura, looks like Kendall Noah player was unable to keep it going. Finds himself a few laps down. Harrison Talon, one of those that took a pretty hard hit to the front end. So unfortunate for all those drivers to be involved in an early caution like this. But right now, we're looking at dominance right now in the making with Timmy Holmes. As he is one of those rookie drivers on top of the point standings, already finds himself as the only driver with multiple wins this season. And he's out front right now at a track that's very difficult to pass. We called him the master of short tracks, but I don't know if you would list this as a short track. It has short track tendencies, but it's a mile in length. He's already going to be difficult to pass and catching the points already, but we'll have to find out. If there's a man to do it, Scott Crump, Tyler Fody, Vincent Isabella are good company to try to see if we can be able to make anything happen here. Well, Erica, so far, you've seen a lot of short track kind of tendencies here as you see a lot of sliding up in front of the driver to complete a pass. But I have a question. We mentioned early on here, now that we're able to track rookie drivers so much with that R and asterisk by their name, do you think we're going to have another rookie winner? Holmes right now out front, but Justin Munsell, one of those, and Ethan Stanley, another one of those coming up from the back of the field. But do you feel like this so far this season has showcased more towards the rookies, or do you feel like some of these wily veterans that may be coming back here late in the run trying to get one? Which one do you have a feeling more towards?
I think certainly there are quite a few rookies in the field, and they have been quite impressive so far this season. However, I wouldn't necessarily count out some of the more experienced drivers, particularly if this is a track that they've spent a lot of time practicing on. And it may be that even one of the drivers who has not quite gotten a win yet but has been running up front consistently may get the win tonight.
One of those drivers I think that might be in that category is Scott Crump. A lot of tough breaks so far this season. He's been involved in so many accidents, but he finds himself in very, very good spacing right now, very good company up there. He finds himself in second position. I would definitely keep an eye out for Scott Crump, as you know how much this would mean to him after having such a tough break in the Truck Series, a series that he dominated so well last season. Definitely trying to go and correct that here tonight. But pace truck is going to be off. We're going to wait on Timothy Holmes here to get it going. And he jumps it now. He gets going pretty well there. But Scott Crump is going to look like he's going to be able to clear for second and is going to be going to try to see if he can go to work on Timothy Holmes side by side for third place. And that's with Vincent Isabella on the preferred lane in that orange truck with his teammate on the inside. Now looks like Fody, who Vincent Isabella just passed, might be able to find himself into a spot where he can jump up, trying to fill that void right there. Looks like that's Ethan. Oh, as you see, very close coming out of the turns back there for that fourth place. It looks like Ethan Burrell is trying desperately to try to cut off Fody's escape route to get that outside lane and try to take that preferred line. Is going to have the momentum coming down this backstretch to be able to go side by side going into turn 3. Fody dives it in. Is going to try to do a slide job to get back in front, and will. Now we'll find out if Ethan Burrell is going to go try to get back underneath him, or is he going to try to follow him? Maybe wait a little bit longer. The stage end is at 25 tonight for the first stage. So that is only about 13 laps left from here. So far, it looks like your top 9 drivers are single file as the caution is out. Caution is out. We'll have to give it back over to David Huckleberry here as he tries to figure out the cause of the caution.
You like that new big caution that pops out? That was a request of some of our fans. Said they'd like to know when the caution comes out.
If you didn't see that caution come out, then you would have ran over a driver in front of you because that was a big caution.
That definitely gets our attention. So let's see what we got. This is Dylan Jones involved in it. We got a 7. The 7 car would be at fault. They're calling it on Ray Bracey.
Oh,
yeah, he got into the back of it. Ray Bracey did.
Yeah, and that little Caesar scheme. He comes in with some of the most creative schemes. He came in with a little Caesar, and that was hot and ready right there. He gave it to the 22, hot and ready right there.
Yep.
They both go into the wall. 22 takes the blunt of the force there as the 7 slides into him. This is a tough track. I mean, you're carrying so much speed, and it's so flat that you can't easily lock up trying to dive it in there and trying to make any kind of move. So that's going to be a common theme tonight is drivers on top of each other, especially when they're in tight racing. So looks like the 7 was tallied as the cause of the caution. Well, while we're under caution here, I'm going to give it over to Dr. Erica Campbell here. She gives us a sponsored shout-outs that makes all this possible for us tonight to be able to broadcast it to you all on YouTube.
Right, starting with Powerhouse Recycling, they strongly believe through their superior customer service, customized recycling, and complete transparency, they can earn their clients' business and hold longevity in business relationships. Blue Egg Marketing is your marketing department. Small business owners, Blue Egg is your biggest fan. Constraints catalyze creativity. And C2 Freight. Whatever you need to ship, they have access to the necessary equipment, including flatbeds, double drops, vans, tankers, refrigerated equipment, multi-axle heavy haulers, dump trucks, auto carriers, intermodal containers, and more.
Well, I appreciate you. And always thank you to Dixon Smoked Meats. Again, he does a fantastic job representing here at Elite and representing the trucks. As those are just 2 perfect combinations, isn't it, David? You got your barbecue and you got your truck series. I mean, what better way to pair them both together here? So we thank you to Dixon Smoked Meats as they are an awesome sponsor for the truck series. Definitely one of those sponsors that are one of those mouth-watering ones that we're proud, and maybe one day he can give us some barbecue while we broadcast one of these events.
That'd be awesome.
You would maybe some of the fans might like it. I wouldn't talk as much maybe because I'll be busy eating. So it's always I've seen some of the pictures of Dixon Smoked Meats, some of the catering services he does, and it's definitely some tasty looking food for sure. So what's been good so far is Timmy Holmes, as he's led everything so far as they come to the choose cone. Again, choose cone's right at the flag stand. Timmy Holmes decides to take the inside lane, gives Scott Crump the outside. Vincent Isabella, who was lined up third, decides to take the outside lane. So Vincent's happy that they have a choose cone because rather than starting on the inside, now he gets to choose the outside. So right there you see the benefits of the choose cone being displayed as Vincent Isabella is able to line up in the preferred lane when they get into turn 1 and 2. We'll just have to find out if the drivers are able to keep up with Timmy Holmes' restart paralysis, because as so far this season, the biggest thing I've taken away from Timmy Holmes is when he gets up front, he has these ridiculous launches. Whenever he's able to get onto the loud pedal and able to get away, he gets away for sure. So we'll have to keep an eye on, see if Scott Crump is able to time it a little bit better with Timmy Holmes and see if maybe he can go side by side in turn 1. Green flag is out, and Timmy Holmes once again shoots out like a rocket and gets himself clear. 3 to 4 truck lengths already going in turn 1. As second, it looks like a little lockup back there. No one goes around, but definitely a lot of smoke. As we got a battle for second, we'll have to keep an eye on. I think that was the number 37, Ethan Burrell, who is lined up in the 5th position. But now we got a battle with Fody on the inside of Scott Crump. Oh, so close on his door. Fody trying desperately to try to get up into the high lane where the grip is at. And side by side at the line is Scott Crump and Tyler Fody for second place. Scott Crump takes it very wide in turn 1 and 2, and Fody is able to cut down to the bottom, but still to his outside is Scott Crump. Scott Crump going to try to get that launch down the back straightaway to be able to clear him as they go side by side in turn 3. Scott Crump taking a very high line going in, and Fody taking advantage of that and going at a high angle as well. So far, 3 laps into this restart, and 3 laps side by side is Fody and Scott Crump. One of them is going to have to give eventually before they're tired to. But before... Oh, you see Scott Crump. You see how hard they're pushing right now. Scott Crump is very loose, but Fody able to clear him. Scott Crump going to take the dive move underneath of Fody. He's going to try to be able to get underneath them, try to complete the same pass. Well, last time they were at the flag stand, it was a reverse order. It was Fody on the inside. Now you see Scott Crump. Scott Crump dives it in about truckling farther than Fody is trying to slide up. Fody doing a pretty good job of being able to stay onto the door as a caution is going to come back out on lap 20 here. See if we can give it back over to David and try to find out where this caution has, because I don't see anyone up front that had any issues.
I guess it's going to be tagged to the Cole Microt involved here. 62 car. 32 gets into the back of him. Dustin Dewar gets in the back of him, sends him into the wall.
Once again, you're seeing those drivers that the turn 1 and 2 is such a dive bombing area where you have to enter so high with so much speed, and there's so many different braking zones for these drivers. You see Dustin Dewar getting to the back of the 62, spins him around in that mellow yellow truck. Unfortunate for Dustin, for Munsell or for Merkrut there, as Cole Merkrut goes around, he makes heavy contact with the back end of that truck. You see it right here. It doesn't take much. Looks like Dustin Durst got him and just enough to spin him around. Unfortunately for him, but fortunately for the rest of the field, doesn't look like anyone else got involved in that. So Racing Control has announced this will not be the end of the stage. So we're about to have a very short run to the end of this stage, where we may only have like 2 laps to decide the stage end. So top 10 in points are awarded points. 10th on down to 1 point for the top 10. So it's going to be interesting. I wonder if they're going to throw a caution. They probably will, David. Wouldn't you believe they're going to throw a caution at the end, even though it might only be a lap or 2 run?
Yeah, I think I did hear that there will be yellow flags for the stages.
Okay, so it's going to be a short little run here. We'll have to find out, because you only have 2 laps to get it done, to get some points, and we saw when we had the point standings up, it's very tight. The win doesn't necessarily mean you're in, so you have to go out and try to get as many points as you can, and this is one way you do it, is at the stage end. So we'll have to keep an eye on, as I believe they're coming to a choose cone situation here.
You're going to get 1 lap. That's going to be a choose cone lap, and then
next time by. Yeah.
Right. It'll be choose cone at the next lap, and then they'll have go green for 1 lap.
Yeah, might only be for 1 lap.
Yep.
Well, 1 lap to decide points, so it's going to be interesting. We may not even get to that 1 lap before the caution comes out, David. I have a strong feeling that we're about to see some really hard, aggressive racing, especially, I feel like, probably from that 7th on back to 12th place position, as points are hard to get, and now's the time to get them. We're about to see if how important they actually are with 1 lap to go for the caution here. So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that back there in those position points, or those position earning points areas. So one driver though that's been kind of just lurking is looks like Tom Bourne's made up some positions. He finds himself up to 8th place. He started all the way back into 14th. Another one of those drivers that has already worked himself up pretty high is Michael Kean. And he started back in 29th, already finds himself up to 11th position. So some drivers starting to work their way up through the field from qualifying, as they may have made some of the passes here with all these choose cones situations. Interesting little thing that the Truck Series introduced is this choose cone. It puts it into the driver's hands sometimes with these restarts now. As it used to be, you just had to line up wherever it told you. Now you can put it in your own hands and try to make your way up to the field here. But the pace car will be coming in this time. We will have one lap to decide the end of stage 1. So we'll have to we'll have Timmy Holmes starting on first, with Scott Crump on the outside. We'll wait on Timmy Holmes to decide when he goes, and off he goes now as he gets out to about another 3 to 4 truck length lead again. Scott Crump and Tyler Fody back into their battling ways, find themselves about 3 or 4 truck lengths back as Fody is trying to get that inside lane going. Right behind them is Ethan Stanley, another one of those rookie drivers trying to make a name for himself, coming from a little farther back in starting order. He finds himself now right behind the 2 battling trucks for second. As here they come out of turn 4. It looks like our stage 1 winner will be Timmy Holmes. Good battle for second, as it looks like coming down to the line. Decided by, looks like 1/100th of a second. Scott Crump was able to get it over Fody for second place. So our top 10 points winners here are as follows. Timmy Holmes in first, Scott Crump in second, Tyler Fody in third, Ethan Stanley, he finds himself finishing 4th, Shane Ryan in 5th, Justin Munsell, another one of those rookie drivers, finds himself in 6th, Tom Bourne in 7th, Chadwick Denton, he finds himself in the 8th position, Robert Hill Jr., another one of those rookie drivers, finds himself in the 9th, and Daniel Martinez is able to lock down the final position for the stage end. He finds himself in 10th place. Well, now they have to decide on is tires important. And that's always been the kind of the deciding factor here. It's almost like a Martinsville situation. Do you risk putting yourself back there for new tires when passing is so difficult and there are so many trucks on the field? On a normal mile and a half track, there wouldn't have been no question. There you go down for tires. It's going to be a question here if they do. And so far, I was just about to say everyone was going to do it. Scott Crump decided that track position was more important. He decided to check out a line. He's going to go about leading this lap and be out front for the start of the second stage. Looks like he might be the only one. Looks like a few drivers are out there as well, but not as many as he was probably hoping for. Again, it's so hard here to pass that a lot of times drivers will decide to stay out, even though fresh tires may give you an advantage on speed overall. Again, with cautions and restarts and how difficult it is with it not necessarily being a single lane, but definitely a strong lane for the top side. It's so hard to be able to make those passes. So he's hoping that's going to be the case here, as we'll have to find out where our leaders are going to find themselves after all this flip-flopping of trucks.
Gerald, I had a question for you. For those fans who may not be as familiar, the banner across the top that has the, I'm guessing those are lap times. Is that the most recent lap time?
No. Well, it changes from how David puts them in here. I think this is a question best answer for David. I know the answer, but this is David's expertise, and I don't want to take it.
Yeah, that would be me forgetting to click that over since we didn't have the qualifying section. So that would have been their best last time of the day. So now I've switched it over to gap again. But yes, it would be their best lap of this session.
Thank you.
That's my wife making sure that you're on top of your job, and she'll catch you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, she caught you not slacking on your job there, David. You got to watch out.
Usually they'll jump me in chat and say, hey, can we have gap, please?
Yeah, no worries. We got it up there now, folks. So good catch on that one, Erica, for sure. As looks like our leader's going to line up in 10th position. So our stage 1 winner, Tim Holmes, is going to line up in the 10th position before the choose cone.
Oh,
Now, Gerald, what is your opinion on this pit road strategy? Do you think that it's going to be fairly easy in the time that's left to make those passes, or do you think that Scott Crump had the right idea by staying out?
In my opinion, I do the opposite of who I think might beat me. And with Timmy Holm leading all that stage and running off from them, I'm in the same mindset as Scott Crump if I was out there. And I love this racetrack, but I know how difficult it is to pass. And I'd rather be the one that has to try to be passed or be moved as the night goes on to determine than to have to try to make all those passes, because it's very easy to find yourself caught up in someone else's situation. But we're about to find out ourselves here. Scott Crump is going to lead us to this start of the second stage as he gets out to a very strong start. Right behind him, it looks like that's the number 12 of James Saul, and the looks like trying to dive to the outside. I think that's Levi. Yes, Levi Zelensky, 3 wide situation with it looks like Ethan Burrow on the inside, very bottom, that's going to be able to clear over to the 12 and is able actually to get side by side with Levi there as they come out of turn 4. Side by side for second place. It looks like the 2 of Vincent Visabella is able to clear and find himself into the 4th position. As you see Levi not giving much room at all for the 37. This 37 slides up there, is able to still kind of keep side by side maintained, but it looks like 37 is going to get the clear, get the better of the 00 going into turn 3 and slide himself up into the second position there. Now, one thing we didn't keep an eye on, some of these trucks may be on old tires. Some of these trucks may have changed their tires earlier on in the race before the end of that stage. It was only a 1-lap stage, so if I had to keep kind of like a mindset, I'm pretty sure most of these drivers that you see here now trying to charge up to the front may have been one of those drivers that changed tires right before the end of that stage, maybe the caution right before, and that might be what the 37 situation is. Maybe David could give me some kind of idea on
it looks like
the count.
Looks like Burrell and Isabella came in on lap 21. Now Zelensky didn't. He came in and got on lap 7, so he hasn't been in for a while. And of course Crump hasn't been in at all.
Yeah, Crump is the only driver out there really that's maybe him and the 12 that have not hit it at all in this race. Other drivers periodically through that first stage, but right now 37 is going to try to reel himself back into the lead and find himself with a battle in the 90 here shortly, as he's clicking off much faster lap times than Scott Crump. As we come to lap 36, now the end of this stage will be on lap 50. So we still have quite a few laps before the end of that stage, and not quick enough for Scott Crump. As you see that lap time and that gapping starting to close up lap by lap. Now we got a 3 wide situation back there. That looks like that's a 3 wide for, I believe, 7th place. As that's getting somewhat sorted out. Not really. It's there. 3 wide coming out of turn 4. 92. Oh, very close from touching Fody. That would have sent them all straight into the wall there, but very good close combat racing as you see Fody able to kind of pick his way through the field so far. He finds himself now in the 6th position as he takes a battle to Levi for that 5th position. Levi is starting to fall back now. 92 slides into him. You see that 02 starting to spin backwards. That's going to probably cause caution, and it does. It looks like the 92 entered just a bit too high and slid right into Levi and sent him right around in front of the field. Doesn't look like anybody hit Levi, which is thankful on his part, but yeah, it just looks like maybe a little too high of an entry there. That could have been way worse for Levi there. Levi is able to not only not get hit by another truck, but somehow is able to hit the brakes hard enough to be able to stop it from going into that outside wall. So very thankful for the 0-2 position there, as he's going to be able to keep it going now and try to work out from that hole. But he was already falling back with tires, so he might be thankful that he can go down and get some tires and maybe try to take a charge back up to the front. So now we've reached lap 38. We'll be coming probably to 10 laps of to the end of this stage. And Scott Crump finds himself in an interesting situation, has not pitted at all, and he has a ton of drivers with a lot more speed right behind him. One of those, Ethan Burrell, trying to catch it back up and try to get into the lead of this. But Timmy Holmes, we stated he was restarting in 10th position, already finds himself now into the 3rd, right behind both of those drivers. And he has the newer tire over Ethan Burrell, so we'll have to see how much tires really are a key factor. Now, Erica asked me what my opinion of what I would have done in this situation. At this point in time, I don't know what I would do. This is a hard situation to choose from. But Scott Crump has got a difficult task because he needs points. He's way down in points, so he needs the points. But if he wasn't going for points, I may have pitted just so that way I had new tires in case when the next caution comes out. But in Scott Crump's position, he finds that he needs points over the chance of a win. So Scott Crump may be just out there trying to try to see where he finishes out in this, but he's going to have some fast trucks right behind him trying to catch him before the end of this stage. All this does for us, though, is we get to watch an interesting truck race unfold in front of us. So we'll be coming to the choose cone, and Scott Crump is going to have to pick which lane. If I had to guess, he's going to stick with that outside lane, keep those drivers, both the fastest driver out there, Timothy Holmes and Ethan Burrell, onto the inside lane, and that would probably line up Vincent Isabella to his outside. Or maybe Timmy Holmes decides to take the outside lane. We'll have to keep an eye on it. And that he does. So Timmy Holmes now lines himself up right behind Scott Crump, right where he wants to be. Kind of puts it right into the hands of Timmy Holmes. He's going to hope to try to follow the 90 car on the outside in the preferred lane, try to clear Ethan Burrell, find himself as the newest truck with tires to be able to try to go after the lead. Pace car will be coming in this time. Again, we'll have about 10 laps to go to the end of this stage. We're about to see some intense, crazy action here, as again, points are on the line, and you're about to see a lot of differing strategies start to play out. So we'll wait for
10 laps to go until the halfway point.
Correct, yep. Halfway point in the stage in are both set to lap 50 here tonight. And Scott Crump is on the gas pedal, and he's able to get going here. Ethan Burrell unable to be able to get a clear of Timmy Holmes. Timmy Holmes, with the newest tires, is going to have the preferred lane. Ethan Burrell trying to dive it underneath Timmy Holmes to try to stay side by side as they start to catch onto the back bumper. Scott Crump coming here into turn 3. Diving in and hard, both of those drivers. Scott Crump is trying to find the lane that's going to give him the most amount of speed. Timmy Holmes looks like he is going to be able to clear Timmy Holmes able to clear Ethan Burrell there for second place, and now is going to be able to battle it for the lead and battle it with Scott Crump here for the end of this stage. Looking low. Is he going to decide to battle him in this turn, or is it going to be in turn 1 and 2 when he decides to get it going with Scott Crump? Turns it in so much easier. As looks like to the benefit of Scott Crump, a caution is going to come out as Timmy Holmes was just about to set him up going into turn 1. And the caution does come out. So we'll give it back over to David here, and he can give us an idea of what ended up happening back there that saved Scott Crump.
Well, it looks like we got quite a few names on the list here, so we'll have to see what happens. Starts out with James Saul being involved. Looks like Zelensky comes down into him, turns him. And then Zelensky goes back up in front, going to collect the 12. 5 Balvans into it. Bracy comes in late.
I don't think you can ever say Ray Bracy is late with the Little Caesars. I think it's late, then it comes free. So can't say that about the Little Caesar paint scheme. But Levi Lazinski there, unfortunate for him. Last time he got sideways, no one hit him, and he didn't have any issues as far as damage goes. But that time around, he's going to have a ton of damage. That's going to put him, if not out of the race, it's definitely going to put him in a bind, as he's going to have a big issue with that truck for the end of this race. As you see, a few of those drivers are probably taken out there. Alec Ballvance is still, I don't know if he's still going, but he took another hit. I think he went right into the door. Yeah, I think he goes right into the door of the 12. Oof. Actually climbed him. And then got hit for behind just for the fun of it. Yeah, the Racing Point Lemu might be done for the night for that number 5 truck of Levi. Unfortunate for him. But what this sets up is it's going to be another one of those shootouts. I think we'll only have about 3 laps before the end of this stage. And Scott Crump, with his old tires, still finds himself out front. I don't know if that bodes well for the tires, or Scott Crump is just driving the wheels off of it to stay up front. But he's doing a well of a job.
Is it inevitable that he will have to come in to pit at some point?
Oh yeah, yeah. He's gonna get tires at the end of this stage. He's not gonna want to stay out again. He's probably about 3 to 4 tenths slower than the drivers with new tires. And if drivers take tires again now, it'll just compound on that. He'll be almost a second slower. So those tires on these trucks are just going to continue to degrade, continue to lose time. So he's eventually, there's a point in time where track position over tires. I don't know the math or the algebra equation to tell you, but there's definitely a point where tires overcome track position, and it's about now. It was when that equation takes place. But he is going to decide to take the inside. Yeah, surprising he actually took the inside this time around.
Does look like we have the bottom 12 went ahead and took tires. So everybody from 22nd on back came in at lap 43 and got some new tires.
Well, all that does is it sets up a wild finishes. You kind of saw on the road course in today's Cup races, drivers pitting different strategies to try to find themselves a way to get up front. With these stage wins being caution caused, it kind of sets up these situations where you might time it to where you can be up front. And we'll have to find out how far back some of these leaders have to go to start to work their way back up after the end of the stage. But we haven't gotten to the end of the stage yet. We're about to find out now who's able to win this one. As Scott Crump gets to a very good restart, but right behind him, not far, is that 67 of Timmy Holmes. As looks like another caution is out. Looks like another caution. I don't know. That might be the end of the stage. As I don't believe, yeah, that would probably be the end of the stage there. So we'll have to go get back over to David and figure out maybe there was some kind of racing incident on the restart.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. Sean Ryan's the 9, but he's kind of coming in. The 4 gets into the 13, and then over into the, what is that, 11?
Man, that 13 went back and forth there.
Yeah.
Got both sides of it. So he got both sides of it. He saw a big checkup as that ended up causing all that problem occur. 13 just kind of got pinballed there back and forth as 9 was involved in the 42. 42 is Caleb Clifton in that purple truck. Another one of those rookie drivers here with us tonight is, wow, that white truck there got on 2 tires. Another rookie driver there, Brandon, got 2 tires up off the ground. That was a hard contact from the side to do that. Well, that definitely switched everything up, as that was the end of the stage. Scott Crump was able to win that stage. Somehow was able to get it done with those old tires, but now he finds himself having to work up from the back of the pack with those new tires and try to see if he can be able to get back up to the front. As actually it's not that far back he's going to have to come from. As we had believed a lot more drivers were staying out. It looks like only 5 drivers stayed out. One of those being your stage 1 winner, your pole winner there, Timmy Holmes. He's one of those drivers that stayed out.
And he's been out for 22 laps.
Yeah, he's going to have a 22-lap disadvantage over the 90. That's very eye-opening, as we thought there had been close to 12, 15 drivers staying out, but to Timmy Holmes' dismay, that's not the case. He's only going to have 4 other drivers right behind him. Some tough drivers to get around, no joke, as we have Chad Frankenfield. He finds himself right behind Timmy Holmes. The 1-2 you see right there, Timmy Holmes and Chad Frankenfield, were both of our Bristol winners, as we had a doubleheader last week at Bristol. Timmy Holmes won the first Bristol race, and Chad Frankenfield won the second. And now they line up 1-2 for this restart. Haven't said much about Chad Frankenfield. Not one of his tracks he's well known to run very well at. But another one of those drivers decided to stay out. Sam Batwell, he finds himself in 3rd. He started the race all the way back in 33rd. Michael Goodman, always enjoyable to see him race and be up front. He finds himself in 4th, and Cole Murkrat in the 62. We saw him backwards at one point in the race. He finds himself in the 5th position. So we'll have to keep an eye on these drivers. See how well they're able to do on old tires. See if they can sustain the onslaught of new tires behind them. As this will be the final stage. It's 50 laps to the end. Pace lights are off, and they will be going green this time, as you see Michael Goodman in the 44 on the outside of the 67 of Timmy Holmes. Pace car will be coming off this time, and then we'll see Timmy Holmes push down the lap pedal, as he does right there. He gets out to a very decent sized lead once again, and the battle goes to second with Chad Frankenfield and the 44 of Michael Goodman. 3 wide going into turn 1 does not usually bode well, but able to do it. Scott Crump on the very bottom side, very aggressive, trying to get it going. Trying to make the passes now, as he's going to go try to make it 3 wide. Once again, going to turn 3 below the yellow line, trying to... Sorry, as I was joking on all the excitement. Vincent Isabella, 3 wide on the outside. The time to go is now, as Vincent Isabella taking that orange truck all the way on the outside, passes 2 of them as the caution comes back out. Yeah, I started joking there. There was so much going on.
Like the 12 gets into the 51 of Harrison Talon. And then we got a couple more. Dustin Durer and just Josh Freed get involved, coming in from behind.
And also a big race decision called down, race announcement onto it. Scott Crump is going to get a penalty here. I think he's getting an EOL penalty here. Whoa. 25 tried to ramp off the front end of the 32 there. Comes to a stop. 32 gasses it. He wants to get going again. He started pushing the 25 out of the way there. But, 90. Scott Crump. EOL for dangerous moves.
I didn't know how else to word it, but he made too many quick moves coming down to the line.
Yeah, I would probably say it as too many erratic motions.
Yeah.
Before they got to the green flag, is it may have checked up some drivers.
They'll give you one move, but usually you can't make multiples.
Yeah, we'll have to. Yeah, that's unfortunate for Scott Crump, as he won stage 2, as having such a promising night. We've said how much problems he's had this season. He finds himself so far back in points, and coming into the night was going to be so key to try to get it done tonight. But
so here's him coming to the line.
I'm not sure. Might have happened before that. Because it didn't happen there.
Yep. Have to be coming to the green. I don't see too much movement.
I don't either. Yeah, I heard that EOL for aggressive moves on the restart. And that's not that aggressive there. That's strategic.
Let it play out here and see if anything else comes up.
That's not aggressive either. He got on the brakes at a decent pace there too, and didn't make it with a wide. Checks up, so he didn't get it back to the 62. I'm not sure unless it happened at a different point in time, whenever before they maybe farther back in the pace. I'm not sure why the 90 got the EOL for erratic movement. I definitely would not say it was because of that.
Yeah, at that point we're under caution.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think it happened under green, because if that was under green, that's not the correct call then at that point, because I make that move. I make that move 100% of the time. So I've seen other drivers make that move a lot more often as well. So yeah, it would had to have been something before then, because if that was the case, I don't think that's correct at all. But we'll have to keep an eye on Scott Crump. Maybe this sets up a comeback story, one for the ages. If he can come up from the back, maybe we can hear from him, find out exactly what happened. As he's going to have to drop to the end, and he's still got points to his name. We'll have to just keep an eye on him, as hopefully he can find himself way back up there and be able to contend for the win once again. But the caution, or the pace car, is actually going to be coming down now, and that sets up the 67, who's been the strongest truck all night by far. But he finds himself with 22 lap older tires than the driver who is outside in the number 2. Chad Frankenfield right behind him with similar tires to himself. The 67 is able to get out to a very strong start once again, as a battle for second all the way from the 6th position. It looks like that's the 62 of Cole. He tried to get underneath Vincent going into turn 1 and 2. Vincent's now going to be able to power out and try to make a running start at the lead here. Vincent trying to get some kind of comeback from himself as well for what happened I believe that was at Michigan, when he was running so well at that race and got taken out with 2 laps to go from the lead. So we'll have to see if Vincent is able to have anything for the 67 with the new tires. As you see, we have 2 trucks around in the back that looked like it was back in the 8th position. Two trucks going backwards going into turn 1.
It's like Ethan Stanley gets into the 71, and then the 98, Munsell, gets into the 92, sends him around.
92, not too bad of contact, but yeah, unfortunately for
Kyle Walgren possibly involved here. He just goes high, but looks like he's not going to get stopped in time. Oh, maybe he does.
yeah, he does. That's not
Not
too
bad.
bad. You see the 78 there, Jeffrey Stickle, same situation. They locked it up as they try to slow it down in time, not knowing exactly with all the smoke where the trucks might have ended up. But this is one of those tracks that are self-cleaning. They usually, with it being so flat, when you go sideways, it's pretty much to the wall where you go. So both those drivers able to slow down. Neither one makes too big of contact, so they're able to keep going there. Well, every lap we go from here on is going to be a benefit for Timmy Holmes as the tires start to even out little by little with freshness. So Vincent Isabella running in second place in that number 2 truck. He's going to need to make the move as soon as possible so he has that tire advantage. But in third place there, one of those drivers that came from the back and is now back up to the front here, Cole Merkrat, and that rookie, he's got that rookie stamp on him. He's in third. Ethan Burrell finds himself in the fourth position with that Pro Edge painted up truck. And Tom Bourne has had a mixed season. A lot of good runs, but nothing really to show from it, as he's had a lot of issues. He finds himself in fifth. Goodman finds himself in the sixth position with his tire strategy, just trying to make sure he stays out of trouble tonight. Tyler Fody trying to work his way back up to the front as well. He finds himself in the seventh position. Justin Munsell, you saw him with a little bit of contact that last caution there. Still has a fairly clean truck. He finds himself in the eighth. And Zishan Dura in a great running position right now in ninth. Great to see Zishan out there having a good run of it. Hope he's having fun. And Sam Batwell, another one of those drivers with the tire strategy, still out there running in 10th position, hoping to even up those tires as well. So that's your top 10 running positions there. Looks like Chad Frankenfield decided to come down pit road. So Chad's going to be all the way into the back trying to work his way up to the front with new tires. We still have, looks like 31 trucks on the lead lap. So still full amount of trucks on the track. As we come down to around, looks like 38 laps left to go into this race. So still a lot of laps left to go here, and a lot of action still to take place. Well, as we get around here, they may be having the choose cone here. Want to see if anyone in the YouTube comment section, if they have a favorite driver out there they might think that we need to keep an eye on. Let us know. Give us a comment. Let us know what you think of the racing so far. Who do you think is left to put a rate lease charge into here and be able to take a run for the money, as they say here at New Hampshire. They line up. Looks like Vincent Isabella once again going to have the outside lane. Ethan Burrell's going to line up onto, looks like the bottom lane. And Cole's decided to take the outside lane. We'll have to see it if the points leader is able to get it done, become not only the first multi-winner, but the first 3-time winner tonight. So we'll have to keep an eye on and find out if we're going to have either a new victor here. It looks like the top 10 all have yet to win except for our leader here. So if anyone other than him wins tonight, we'll have a new winner this season. As you see the 67 out to once again a wonderful restart out in front of the 2. Looks like Ethan Burrell able to clear for third. Just enough. Oh, hard contact for Cole as he slams the outside wall. His trucks go staying green, but trucks going all over different directions to try to avoid him as the caution comes back out. And I'm hearing a huge wreck from back. Was it Goodman and Fody?
Yep, Goodman into Fody, and then up into
Cole there. Zishan Dura involved. There's a lot of trucks involved. A lot of trucks as they all are piling into it. That was almost as bad as a Daytona style wreck.
Follow Tyler Dixon as he goes up into the pile here. Oh, the 78 just comes down and takes him out. That was just kind of wild out there.
That could have been a lot worse, though. That could have been a lot worse.
Josh Freed in the 25 going high. I don't know where it shows he's wrecked. He just stops on the track.
All started 44 came down just a little bit, but I think Netco is what really, that was a lot. 44 didn't come down that hard. The contact they made it look like the Tyler Fody just got pile drived. As it wasn't nearly that big of a touch. I mean, it was a touch like that, but that made it look like he got hit a lot harder. But regardless, the 44 was the one assessed with the tally. As you see, just trucks going everywhere from there. Well, we had a few drivers starting to be mentioned into YouTube chat. We got one with Hughes. Let's see where he's running at tonight.
Hughes
back there in number 11. He finds himself in the 8th position. We saw him on 2 wheels at one point. On one restart. That number 11B truck with a lot of front end damage there, but still in a strong running position. He finds himself in 8th after surviving all that melee. So if you're a Brandon fan, he's doing very well so far. He finds himself in the top 10 with looking for more. He's got a front end that's a little damaged, but I think it's just primed for action right now. Look at Scott Crump. He already finds himself into the 9th position after having EOL, having to go all the way to the back. He's already find himself back into the top 10. So, wow. Scott Crump is going to probably take that anger from that EOL and try to put it to good use to get himself up to the front. Got some other names being thrown out there. Let's see where Bracey is at in that Little Caesars paint scheme.
I can't show you that. He is somewhere eating pizza.
Oh, is he out of?
He is out of the race now. Yeah.
The Little Caesars out delivering pizzas. He's not here right now to show. So sorry to those Bojo Bracey fans. He's got other things right now going on. Got another one. Looks like Tim Byrne. Let's see if we can find a Tim Byrne. Are they talking about Tim Bourne or Tom Bourne? No. Tim Byrne.
I don't have a Tim Byrne.
You're gonna have to give us an idea, Joey, as we're trying to figure out who Tim Byrne is. Yeah, that's a nickname for a driver. But pace car will be coming off this time around, as it looks like Timmy Holmes is going to be able to have the inside lane once again. And Vincent Isabella finds himself onto the outside. A little tap right there right before we go green. As he checks up a little bit and now decides to go play a little game on the restart that time around. As it looks like Vincent was trying to get a gap to try to help with his restarting with how well Timmy Holmes is able to get going. But right now, still...
Oh, we got Wrecking back there.
Big lead. Yeah, looks like a Wrecking back once again. Let's see what happened there. Looks
the 8
like
gets into the 71.
Oh, wait. Yep, slide right into the 71. And does it go into Chad? Or is Chad able to slow down? Whoa! Yeah, that was all 4 brakes that being used very hard right there from Chad Frankfield. As he just slowed down enough to miss the 71. As he had a slam on the brakes. 71 to his benefit though. He doesn't hit the wall very hard. is able to keep going. So that's Chadwick Denton. Almost got into Chad. I quite like that situation we had at Michigan, or was it? Yeah, it was Michigan, where we had Chadwick, Chad Frankfield, and Chad Thrinquist. So that was only 2 Chads this time around. So now we find ourselves with only 29 laps left to go. Well, so far, David, do you think so far, do you think Timmy Holmes' tires have evened out, or do you still feel like Vincent still is going to have an advantage if we can get going green here, to where he can be able to put some kind of effort towards passing him here?
I think if we can get green for a few laps, Isabella will have an advantage. But right now, when they keep cooling these tires down, I think it takes a while for the age to really show itself. But if we only go 2 laps at a time and have a caution, Timmy might be able to make it the rest of the way.
Yeah, so far, Timmy has gotten very lucky with the amount of cautions, as Vincent really has not been able to get close enough to him with those restarts that Timmy Holmes has been able to get. Again, I felt like Timmy Holmes this season so far, his restarts are what I'm the most shocked with how well he's able to get. Is that every time he gets onto the gas, he's able to clear by about 6 truck lengths almost every single time. If his driver's able to somehow figure that out, I think there might be a chance that they can challenge with him. Again, every lap we go evens tires out, little by little, every more closer to being evened out. Looks like they'll be coming to the choose cone this time around. And it looks like Timmy Holmes decides to take the inside lane this time around. Vincent Isabella once again takes the outside. Ethan Burrell decides to take the inside right behind our leader. To the outside is Tom Bourne. Tom Bourne finds himself in 4th position. Very good run so far tonight for Tom Bourne. Justin Munsell, another one of those rookie drivers, finds himself in the 5th position. Sam Batwell is having probably the best race he's had so far this season so far. He finds himself in the 6th position. So very good run for him. And his team owner and teammate, Zach Evans, we saw earlier wreck with him, he finds himself in the 7th position. So good run for both those drivers in that team. So good run for them. We'll have to keep hopefully the commentators' curse away from them as the run goes on. So as the pace car will be coming off, 67 is able to get back onto the gas once again and is able to clear himself by another 4 or 5 truck lengths as he goes up in front of Vincent Isabella. Vincent Isabella is able to get himself clear and have 2nd place all to himself as he's going to try to hopefully crack back down to that 67. Looks like everyone's able to get through turns 1 and 2 cleanly this time around. 3-4 wide battle back there. It's tough in those back positions, but Ethan Burrell, I didn't notice he's already to the inside of the 2 truck of Vincent Isabella. Ethan Burrell trying to get that bottom lane going. That's a strong run as he starts to slide up right into the side of the 2. Is he able to clear him coming out of turn 2? He might be clear just enough to be able to tuck in front of him. He is. And now Ethan Burrell is going to find himself in the 2nd position in that Pro Edge truck. Is he going to be able to have anything for the leader? As we got a battle for 3rd, Vincent Isabella in a slide right now, going backwards. The 16 of Tom Bourne is going to try to be able to clear him going into turn 1 here. Vincent Isabella dives it in there on the outside. Is able to stay into the lane, doesn't slide too much, but the 16 having a very good run onto the inside. And they still go side by side. You see both of them get a little loose coming out of turn 2. Right behind them is the 98. You see right on the back bumper trying to decide which lane will be going forward. as right now the 16 is able to get just enough. Is he going to clear him? Oh, he's right there. He is able to clear in front of the 2.
Ooh, 90 gives Isabella a shove.
Oh, there's a lot of beating and banging going on right there between the 2, the 98 and 16. As Vincent Isabella is still sliding back. You see a little bit more contact between the 98 and the 2 truck. As right behind them, Scott Crump with the newest tires out of everybody, making a hard charge. He finds himself now up into the 6th position as he's going to try to get past both of these drivers as they continue to make contact side by side. So Vincent Isabella right now in the advantage of the lane, but the 98 trying to get underneath them as the 90 starts to catch both of them side by side in turn 1 and 2. Coming out of turn 2, the 2 truck is able to get a good launch out of the turn, but maybe 3 wide. Scott Crump looking on the inside of both of those drivers. He dives all the way down to the yellow lane. Is he going to slide up in front of either one? Is there going to be any contact made? The 2 truck and the 98 truck a little bit, they're very close. 90 is able to clear the 98, but not the 2 truck coming out of turn 4. 90 of Scott Crump is going to dive it in there, makes a little bit of contact with the number 2, slides him up. Is he going to be able to have just enough? No, the 2 is still to the outside of Scott Crump. As good, hard racing for that 4th place, 4th position's on the line. 2 truck trying desperately to stay to the outside, is unable to do it as Scott Crump is able to clear and finds himself now in the lone position of 4th. Scott Crump is going to try to take a battle up there and try to see if he can be able to have anything for the leaders. As looks like the 98 is going to fall right behind the number 2 of Vincent. Oh, so close coming out of the turns. He's going to be ducking underneath them once again going into turn 3. Gives a little bit of a bobble to Vincent as Vincent slides up just a little bit too high there. 98 once again trying desperately to make that inside lane work. Going down the front straightaway so far, the 98 has the lead over the 2, but just by little at the flag stand. Dives in once again. Is he going to be able to have enough speed to be able to get in front of Vincent? Vincent's been desperately trying to get that outside lane going, but is once again going to be sideways as the 98 is able to clear coming out of turn 2. So Vincent Isabella, in just a few short laps, finds himself from 2nd place all the way down to 6th position. As here we come to 19 laps to go. As it looks now, Scott Crump is starting to slowly catch on to your 3rd place driver of Tom Bourne. Scott Crump running the fastest laps on the track right now. Again, anger can sometimes be to your benefit, as he might not have been happy with that EOL penalty that he was given earlier on. In a very short amount of time, he was able to work his way up from the back of the field and find himself now onto the back of the 16 for the 3rd position. But he's going to have very few laps. He's going to need a caution to be able to have anything for the lead. As the laps tick away, Timmy Holmes is starting to gap Ethan Burrell. Ethan Burrell starting to slowly lose the back of that 67 Crump. Now we have Scott Crump just a truck length away from the 3rd place of Tom Bourne. As they come down the front straightaway, 90 truck has a very wide lane entry. And is he going to try to hook the bottom lane coming out of turn 2, get the run down the back straightaway? On board with Scott Crump as he tries to take the battle for 3rd place. Has the run. He's going to look to the inside of the 16. All the way down on that dotted white line. 16 went way too high into that entry. And Scott Crump now finds himself in 3rd position. Now Scott Crump has very little time. He's 2.8 seconds behind the leader. He's got 16 laps. He still has 1 truck in between him and the leader, and he has close to around 30 lap newer tires than your leader of Timmy Holmes. Ethan Burrell starting to slowly fall back from the leader and into the clutches of Scott Crump. As here we come to 15 laps left to go. By far, one of our longest green flag runs of the night so far. As Ethan Burrell is going to try to keep up the momentum to try to keep Scott Crump behind him. And Timmy Holmes is leading both of them. But right now, Scott Crump is close to around 2 to 3/10 faster than the leader. And that much more on your second place runner right there of Ethan Burrell. He's only now finds himself only 8/10 behind Ethan Burrell. That time around, he actually gained 2/10 on him, and now is within half a second behind your second place runner. As now they're starting to get into lap traffic there. Scott Crump finds himself now only about 3 truck lengths, coming down the front straightaway with 12 laps left to go, or 13. So far, it's Timmy Holmes, Ethan Burrell, Scott Crump, Tom Bourne in fourth, Justin Munsell in fifth, Vincent Isabella able to stop the bleeding. He finds himself in sixth position. Caleb Clifton is in seventh. But we got a battle now here, as it looks like Ethan Burrell lets Scott Crump just go. He decides to take the inside, doesn't want to slow up Scott Crump, as Scott Crump is able to get to the outside and pass Ethan Burrell. He now finds himself in second place. We have 12 laps to go. He has around 2.5 seconds left to get it done. Is he able to catch to the back of the leader? 2.5 seconds is the gap, and a lap car in between. That last time around, he was a little slower than the leader, but before that, he's been gaining on him 10th by 10th. Unsure if he's going to be able to get there unless if a caution comes out. Once again, about 1.5 faster. That will not be enough. He's going to need either someone to slow up the leader or a caution to be able to get him caught back up. As we come around, the leader will be taking 10 laps to go to the end of this race. Scott Crump from the back of the field, very late in the race here, now with a strong run, finds himself back into contention. The rest of the top 10, Caleb Clifton in 7th, Daniel Martinez finds himself in 8th, Ethan Stanley in 9th, Michael Kinnan in 10th, Chad Frankenfield, he finds himself in the 11th position, Dustin Durr in 12th, Zach Evans back to 13th. By far one of our longest runs so far of the night here, late in the race. It's going to come down to long run speed. That time around, once again, a little less than 1/10.5 faster. He is faster, but he is still too far behind the leader to be able to get to him. Seen Justin Munsell win it at some of these short tracks here. He's already won twice this season, trying to complete it with another win and be the third so far this season on the round of 7. He's been king so far of all the restarts. He's been from the back with tire strategy and found himself back up front. Has had to defend multiple times with drivers with new tires. Is he able to do it one more time with Scott Crump behind him? As here they come to 7 laps to go. They are starting to catch a fairly large group of lap cars in front of them. Are they going to get to the lap cars before the end of this race? Is they going to slow him down just enough for Scott Crump to be able to catch him? We have 7 laps to decide it. A good battle starting to shape up for 4th position, as that's the 16 of Tom Bourne and the 98 of Munsell. Munsell trying to get the run out of turn 4. Is he going to be able to get to the back of him? In these late stages, he is slowly starting to catch on to the back of Tom Bourne. 2 of the most colorful trucks battling it out, as that's a good battle here. The 33 of Daniel Martinez and the 92 of Ethan Stanley. That's a battle for 6th position. Caution late in the race here. caution, just what Scott Crump was needing. Just what any of these drivers were needing to be able to have anything for Timmy Holmes, as he had gotten himself out to such a lead. We'll have to give it over to David to try to find out exactly where the caution came from. But a caution late in the stage will set up a green-white checker.
Nothing's showing up quite yet as to what caused the caution. I don't see anybody falling down through the field.
Not sure where the caution came from. Maybe... No,
It
that's
wasn't
not
here.
it.
It's in Isabella.
Looks like it was with the number 11 driver. If we want to go back to there, it was a 3-wide situation.
Right there.
Looks like that might have been it right here.
Yep, 9 gets into the 79 of Tyler Dixon.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, but fortunate for Scott Crump as he now lines himself up behind the leader and have a shot, a green-white checkered shot to try to get the win. Looks like just a tight situation, 3 wide for some of those drivers. Well, Erica, are you still with us? She might be dealing with the child here.
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah, there you are. So, I don't know if you've been seeing it, but Scott Crump, newest tires. Oh, and that's my son. As
Wow.
yeah, he's happy. He's excited for the race.
Timmy Holmes pitted with 4 laps to go, dropping to 15th.
Is that actually what happened? Wow. Well, Erica, I was about to say is Scott Crump going to have anything for the 67, but the 67 just made an eye-opening move and a very shocker as he decides to come down pit road, and he's going to fall back quite a bit as a lot of drivers are staying out. That changes everything up. I'm thinking 67 was thinking that there was going to be a lot of drivers coming down to get their last set of tires, but with 3 laps to go and how difficult it was to pass, I would have begged my driver not to do that, as that's going to essentially take him out of the chance to win. And that puts it right in Scott Crump's hands. Scott Crump now finds himself in the lead as he watched it gifted to him whenever the 67 decided to go down pit road. Scott Crump was probably in disbelief. He probably thought he was trying to take him up on guessing and try to maybe fool him going down pit road. I don't think Scott Crump probably had any indication that the leader was going to come down pit road. Not with this late in the run, and not with how hard it is to pass. Well, now Scott Crump finds himself leading the race.
I think if you're sitting there watching Timmy Holmes running on 60-lap tires, and you're Scott Crump and you only got 40-lap tires, you'd just say, I'm just going to stay out.
Well, I mean, Scott Crump was going to stay out regardless. He
Yeah, I
his
know.
last set.
That's a no-brainer for him. He knows he's got enough to go to the end.
Yeah, but interesting for our leaders, he now finds himself coming out into the 15th position. He's got way too many trucks to pass.
He does have a very large standings lead, though.
He has a large standing lead, but he had a chance to go for 3 wins, the only driver to even come close to that. And now we'll have a green-white checkered here, 2 laps, and Scott Crump now has the newest tires of anyone in the top 15, finds himself in perfect position here to be able to score one late in the race. The pace car will be coming out. We'll be waiting on Scott Crump and Tom Bourne just below him. Scott Crump is on the gas pedal. He is able to get out and is able to lead us at the flag stand. This is actually a regular green flag run. This is not a green-white checker. So this will be the last lap.
No, ignore that. Lap. Ignore that. They're going 2 laps no matter what.
2 laps. This is 2 laps. Looks like Scott Crump is going to be leading it. And we got a good battle for second place between Tom Bourne and Justin Munsell. Looks like Scott Crump is able to get out to a 3 to 4 truck link lead. Just enough what he needs to make sure for no late race dive bombs on him. As here they come. They'll be coming to the white flag. There will be no caution to end this. It will come down to the drivers. As you see the 67 come from 15th position, he's already found himself going 3 wide for second. As you see battling, the 67, the points leader, goes around, hits the inside wall on the back straightaway. There goes his run, his chance. And so you see Scott Crump coming around.
We're 4 wide.
4 wide for third place, but Scott Crump doesn't care about any of that. He comes from the back. He comes from an EOL penalty, and he will win it here at New Hampshire. In the Dixon Smoke Truck Series, round number 7, Scott Crump has redemption for all the difficulties he's had, not only in the season, but in this race, and comes back and wins it here. And they say anger doesn't solve anything. You just saw a man angry come from the back to the front and pass for the win. And Scott Crump is your winner tonight, as he will gladly take it after what the season has given him. As he decides to, well, you might as well wreck it as you've wrecked. I had so many trucks wrecked so far this season. That will be one happy driver that we will interview later tonight. It was a fantastic run for Scott Crump, as that will definitely help his chances going into the championship. Well, this all happened when the 67 decided to come down and take tires. And we thought that was a bad move. And then before we knew it, he was battling for second, 3 wide, coming out of turn 2. I don't know how that he passed 13 trucks. Let's see if we can get an onboard shot of the 67. I'd love to get an onboard shot with that last restart to see how that driver was able to pass 10 trucks. So we'll try to see if we can get an onboard shot at the 67 of Holmes right before his unfortunate demise going into the inside wall. So this is on the green flag. Goes all the way to the very bottom. No one's using that bottom track. So he's already passed close to 2 or 3 there. Just click. Because he already found himself into the 7th or 6th position right there before we even come out of turn 4 to complete one lap. He passed close to 8 or 9 trucks there as he goes again. He might have been something that just got Crump on the last lap, how fast he was catching it. Oh my goodness. If it wasn't for this contact right there, Scott Crump might have had a battle going into turn 4. As you see contact into his night right there. Unfortunate for him. We'll still have a fairly big race lead coming out of here, I believe, as his closest competitor was Levi, with also having issues tonight. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can pull up the results here, and we'll give it over to Erica to give us a rundown of tonight's finishes. As we try to get it here. There we go. There you go, Erica.
The qualifier results.
Oh, those are still qualifying results. There we go.
Excellent. So we have Scott Crump taking home the victory this evening, followed by Justin Munsell in second, Tom Bourne third, Daniel Martinez fourth, Ethan Stanley fifth, Timmy Holmes in sixth, Caleb Clifton seventh, Ethan Burrell eighth, Dustin Dewar in ninth, Cody Harrington 10th. In the 11th spot, we have Chad Frankenfield, Michael Hossack in 12th, Brent Jones 13th, Casey Hatch 14th, Chadwick Denton 15th. In 16th, Zach Evans, followed by Kyle Walgren in 17th, Mark Keeler in 18th, Robert Hill Jr. in 19th, Sam Bootwell 20th. 21st, Josh Freed, followed by Jeff Sickles in 22nd, Trey Holmes 23rd, Tyler Dixon 24th, Michael Klein 25th, Zishan Dwyer 26th, Brandon Hughes 27th, 28th is Sean Ryan, Tyler Fody 29th, Vincent Isabella 30th, Michael Goodman 31st, Harrison Talon 32nd, 33rd, Cole McRatt, Brody Moore in 34th, James Saul 35th, Alex Balvins 36th, Levi Zielinski 37th, Ray Bracey 38th, Dylan Jones 39th, Kendall Noah 40th.
Well, that was your top 40 runners right there. We're going to go ahead and see if we got, looks like we got our second place runner here of Justin Munsell, one of our rookie drivers here. See if we can get him pulled up. Justin, we seen a crazy race tonight with so many different strategies. What was it taking to try to get up front here? Is it looked like it was so many decisions to try to take tires at different points in the time. What was your strategy for tonight?
Honestly, just survive. That's pretty much been the theme of all these races that we've done. It's track position's pretty much key. So I thought, my pace was good enough, and I saw enough people that weren't going to be pitting. So I was like, I'm going to stay out and hope for the best.
Absolutely, Erica. I'll give it over to Erica to answer any more questions for you here. Hold on.
Well, I just want to make sure we have an opportunity to let you thank anyone or acknowledge anyone that you'd like.
Yeah, well, go ahead and thank the team, Sky Motorsports, the boys over the back in the Discord, Tom Bourne, Bronson Stafford, all the guys. Pretty helpful during the race, trying to help me out with the choose cone and where everybody was going, which is pretty much a big key now. If you want to get track position, you got to know where to line up. So it was real helpful to have a spotter today. Otherwise, thank the league. Thank you guys for the broadcast. All the good stuff.
Excellent. And good run tonight, and that will help you not only in the points, but also for the rookie run, as all your competitors seem to have issues tonight, and this will definitely go towards the good for both of those hopes tonight. So good run in second place, and hopefully we can get to see you and get to talk to you again next week at Lime Rock.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And that was your second place finisher. All right. Yep, and we're going to go ahead and bring in our winner, Scott Crump, here. And here is Scott Crump. We seen you. If I had to make a guess, Scott, you probably drove those last 30 laps probably very heated and very angry when you got that EOL penalty. And we saw you drive hard every single lap to get yourself up there to the front. And when the 67 decided to pit, it fell right into your lap. With all the hardships that you've had this season, all the setbacks, even for tonight's race, you had setbacks. To come and win, and finally get a win in the Truck Series, and to try to start to put something together for the season here in the Truck Series, to go back to being a top contender and to be a front runner once again, what does it all feel like?
Oh, I felt pretty awesome there, coming from the back and coming all the way to the front. We finally got a long enough green flag run in where we can run people down. I knew I was really good on the long run. And there at the end, I just couldn't believe they put it. I knew he gave it away as soon as he pit it.
Yeah, we noticed that too, is when he decided to pit, we knew you had the newest tires out of a lot of those drivers up front, that you were obviously going to stay out. At that point, was it just try to, I mean, yeah, you had, I don't know if you had seen how close he got up. He had almost cleared for second. He might have given you a run in turns in turns 3 and 4. What was it going to do to try to take this win out of your hand? Because we saw how desperate it was to, with how hard the season was, how much this win meant to you. Was it going to take having to try to dump you to try to get you out of this win?
Well, I knew once I got out front, I was faster than everybody else that was behind me. So I was just happy I had a clean room right there and glad we had a good finish here. I mean, it was pretty crazy there, and came through the field with 0x, so pretty cool with that. I mean, just wish people would clean it up a little bit out there so we can get more green flag racing.
This doesn't necessarily lock you in, as that's not how it works so far with the elite season. But this definitely does start to get it put into the right direction for you. Are you gonna? Is this a good step in the right direction? Are you gonna be able to try to take this victory and this momentum that you finally have behind you to try to get yourself into the playoffs and try to even up the playing field to try to make a run again at the championship?
Yeah, it was a pretty big day here with points. I think I got second in the first stage, won the second stage, and came back and won the race. So that's pretty big to pick up a lot of points that we're chasing behind and just carry this momentum forward.
Well, next week is Lime Rock. I don't know how well you are at Lime Rock, but we'll have to see your prowess there, as that's not a very common track for Elite to go to. As far as are there still certain tracks that you still have on the board that you've got down as a favorite, as you might feel like, as far as how you ran last season, winning almost all the races, and then coming into this season. There's probably a few tracks that are still left on the board before the end of the season that you feel like might be high priority. Do you have a couple of them that you've circled so far?
I think we have Lime Rock, Charlotte, Kansas, IRP. I should be pretty well at all those tracks. I'm not sure at Lime Rock, but I practiced there a little bit already, and it wasn't too bad. It's a pretty easy track. It's not like a real hard road course to run. Then we have Martinsville. You know how that one goes. Anything can happen. Watkins Glen. I'm not bad at that road course. So, and then Homestead. I got that one circled. That's one of my favorite tracks. And then Talladaga's the toss up. And then we end up at Phoenix. I'm pretty good there.
Well, once again, good run tonight. As the question for tonight was there going to be another rookie win, or was it going to be one of our veterans? And we saw today one of our good veterans here, Scott Crump, come out today's victor. Congratulations. We want to give it over to you to go ahead and do your shout outs and thank yous, as you see so far this season, they're harder to get than they once were.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. I mean, there's a lot of competition out here. Everybody's racing pretty hard. Give a shout out to my sponsor, Stay Tuned Sports Podcast. Jimbo's been with me a long time. I'm glad I can finally get a good finish for him this year. I think it's our first podium out of all the elite races so far, so that's pretty surprising. As fast as we've been, I just keep on screwing up or something like that. Also, give a shout out to my teammates with White Lightning Racing. We put in a lot of practice here for this race, and I'm not sure how they finished, but I knew they were pretty fast. And also give a shout out to my grandparents out there in Florida watching. So I know they watch a lot. So thank you.
Congratulations to Scott Crump, the redemption story in hand, as we saw those last 30 laps as he comes from the back of the field up to win the race. So once again, congratulations to Scott Crump. Other than that, I think.
Well, now, Gerald, we had a scoring change after the race, and so we got Ethan Burrell in here now with us. He's going to be finishing third tonight.
Ethan Burrell actually finished third tonight.
Yep.
We had to wonder what was going on there. So Ethan Burrell comes home in third. Let me give it back over to Erica here as she goes ahead and conducts the interview here. Erica, you still with us? She might be dealing with a baby, actually. Yeah, from what I can hear from my headset, she's still having to deal with the baby. But Ethan Burrell, we didn't really get a good idea what happened back there. Can you give us an idea what ended up causing you to go from essentially finishing near? I think you were originally listed back in like 15th or 16th. What ended up happening to get you into the third place?
Yeah, you knew you were gonna have to talk to me at some point, Gerald. I had to at least sneak up on you, but I don't know, that last caution, I figured, well, I'm not gonna be able to beat Timmy or Scott, so I figured, I'll go ahead and just pit. I'm not really running for points, so figured I'd try something, and sure enough, Timmy pitted too, which I thought was kind of crazy, but I was just following him back up through, and that weird green-white checkered we had, I guess we only had one official lap left, but we did 2 laps unofficially or something, but I don't know. I saw Timmy get wiped out, and then I just sent it 4 wide on the apron the last turn, and it stuck down there with the new tires and snuck away with a P3, so I'll take it.
Yeah, interesting. The whole chat thing, or the whole lineup is a little strange. That's how it finished out and everything. But iRacing does that. It's iRacing lords, as they say, always will change to kind of mix up in how things finish out onto the screen. But overall, yeah, third place finish. That's a great finishing result for you. Are you going to go into? Are you going to do Lime Rock? Is that a potential race that you might end up showing up at?
I'll try. I mean, it's always 50-50 for me getting home in time for these truck races. So I was actually home today because I'm sick, but I was took some cough meds and mustered up enough strength to run here tonight. And I always love running these truck series races. So whenever I can make it, I'll be here. If I'm not, I'm usually just missing it. Might hop up in the booth with you sometimes, but try to get in here as much as I can.
Well, again, great finish. We saw you up front for a lot of it and everything. We made a lot of comments how tough the passing was. So, yeah, good finish for you. Hopefully, we'll see you at Lime Rock either in here or on the racetrack and everything. It's gonna be interesting. I don't remember too often that Elites race at Lime Rock, so it'll be interesting to see how these gnarly trucks race at that kind of track right there. So, yeah, hopefully, we'll see how you get it done next week.
Yeah, for sure. I've been around here for a long time. I don't know if we've ever ran stock cars there, so I'm hoping
Yeah.
I can make that one. But either way, go ahead and shout out my grandma and Betty for tuning in, watching this one. Anthony Ludi at 213 Simware, and buddy John at IMJD Designs for painting up the schemes for us. And thanks to you guys for giving us a show to watch after.
You Pro Edge guys need to realize you got T-shirts you can sell. You need to start doing shout-outs so you got T-shirts.
Oh yeah. Well, 213simware.com. You can head over there, and they're growing quite the list of drivers they got there, so it's feeling a little less special. But
I was starting to wonder if I was going to take a picture of my microphone and send it in and see if I can get a T-shirt.
That's right. But yeah, you can scroll down their list and find the EB37 T-shirt. Get you some merch of me, if that's what you really want to do.
Oh, come on, you gotta sell it better than that. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
maybe you can have another shot at selling it next week at Lime Rock. But overall,
We'll try.
good run again, Ethan, and we look forward to having fun with you again.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Thank you. All right, so that was Ethan Burrow, your third place finisher. And other than that, that was another fun, exciting finish for the Elite Truck Series. That was round number 7. Next week we'll be at Lime Rock, a road course on April 3rd. Same time will be me once again, your host Gerald Campbell, and my co-host, my lovely wife, Dr. Erica Campbell. Having to take care of the baby so she doesn't get to do any kind of shout-outs. But other than that, always thank you to David Huckleberry giving us these beautiful shots you see tonight, and doing a fantastic job once again, and always introducing some new and exciting things for all of us to see. Can't wait to see what we bring again, what kind of product the truck series will be able to provide at Lime Rock next week. But other than that, we thank you. We hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you once again at the Elite Truck Series, the Dixon Smoke Meats Truck Series. Thank you, and have a wonderful night.